Today we're going to look at how to solve a quadratic equation by completing the square. Our problem is 2x squared minus 12x minus 32 equals 0. The first step whenever you're completing the square is divide out the coefficient in front of x squared, in this case 2. The technique will never work if you don't have a 1 coefficient in front of x squared. Sometimes it creates difficult fractions, sometimes it'll come out clean. Most of the time if you're using this method you'll probably have something that comes out at least relatively clean. So once we do that, we're left with x squared minus 6x minus 16 equals 0. Next we want to add 16 to get our constant on one side of the equation, our variables on the other side. Now the secret to making this work is we're going to add 1/2 of this number squared to both sides. So we'll get x squared minus 6x plus negative 6 divided by 2 squared equal to 16 plus negative 6 divided by 2 squared. So we just did the same technique to both sides, didn't change any of the values. Now simplifying, we get x squared minus 6x plus, this is negative 3 squared, which is positive 9, equal to 9 plus 16, 25. Now on the left side we can write it as a perfect square, x minus 3 squared equal 25. We can do this because we added exactly 1/2 of this term squared to get that 9. It works out where that will factor down to x minus 3 times x minus 3. If you use this technique, it will factor out perfectly every time, assuming you get the numbers correct. Now from here, we can take the square root of both sides of the equation, gives us x minus 3 equals plus or minus, make sure you remember that, the square root of 25, which we simplify to x minus 3 equals plus or minus 5, which means that x minus 3 would equal 5, and x minus 3 would equal negative 5. So when we bring the 3 over, we get x equals 8, and we get x equals negative 2, which are the solutions to the quadratic equation.